What's going on, everybody? Welcome. Today is Friday, March 18th, 2022. It is Fri-Yay. Woo! My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup. Decaf green tea today. Good morning, Stacy. All the rest of you, whether you're watching live later or listening, thanks for coming by. It was really nice out yesterday. I was fairly productive. Not greatly productive, but fairly productive. Good morning, Andy. Worked here until I couldn't stand to work here anymore. My favorite local coffee shop opened back up. And I went and I had some lunch and did, a little over an hour, maybe an hour and a half's worth of work there. Needed more, like I needed to do more work, but I timed it poorly. Ended up at Panera just long enough to have some more food and a cup of tea and like zero work. And then I took a meeting in the car and then I went to the gym. It was a nice day. I just wanted to be out and about. I didn't want to be in the house. Even though while I was here, there was about an hour span where I had the windows open, which was really nice. I was feeling restless. I think that's the heart of it. I needed to be away. Good morning, Dennis. Good morning, Frank. Frank says, I hope yesterday was a better day for you. It got better as the day went on. I find people frustrating. When I look at my life, I've been able to figure out just about everything. I've got a pretty good idea how to get stuff done. Personal relationships, I won't say they elude me. It's not like I'm antisocial. It's not like I can't have personal, professional relationships with people. I just find that there are a whole bunch of people out there. The majority of people, it seems, they can't get out of their own way. That can't live up to the rather low bar they set for themselves, that they fail to clear even that much of the time. And I tend to see the good in people, so I don't go into meeting people skeptically. And because of this, I've been burned a lot in personal and professional relationships. And that's weighing on me right now. Stacy, I will do that. Good to know. I didn't realize you were that close. Today's Friday. And somehow I have about 74 meetings. That's a lie. One of them is getting pushed back. Let's count the meetings. 1, 2, sort of 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 meetings on Friday. That's not how I like things to go. And all of them have like these annoying small blocks of time in between, like a half hour, 45 minutes. So I'm not going to be super productive today. And that's okay. It just means that I do some of the smaller things. You know what I did last night? Oh, show and tell. Okay, I gotta stop yawning. It's Friday. Where is everyone this week? It's very weird. We have small attendance this week. I always wanted one of these maps where you can show where you've been. You scratch off the map. And here, I'll lean back to show you the whole thing. So I bought one of these because I wanted to scratch off Belize, which is so little. This is this tiny little pink dot right there. I gotta hang it up, but the back has like a hook, and I mounted it upside down. So I gotta take it all apart and do it again. I'll do that later. I realize, even though I feel like I've done a lot of traveling, when I talk to people, most of them are like, wow, you've done a lot of traveling. On the map, it looks like nothing. It looks like I've been nowhere. And I'm realizing I haven't even been to most of the US. So it's time. It's time to do more traveling. And I will. I'm looking forward to some road trips this summer. Whether or not they involve seminars, road tripping. Good morning, Jenny. So let me show you. This is the new item we're launching for April. It's a mug. We spent some time thinking about what to do with a mug. This is a fun mug, and if you're not watching, you don't know what it says. But I will. It says you don't need to do martial arts to be cool, but it helps. We haven't done much in the kind of generic martial artsy vein in a while. Kind of the cliche, gimmicky phrase stuff. But everybody likes that stuff on a mug. So that's the April item that will get launched in, I don't know, a couple weeks. But this is the sample, just to make sure everything looks good and is spelled right, and it is. So I got a new mug to drink out of. I'm telling you, at some point we're going to have a sample sale so I can clean out my garage, because there's so much stuff there. The number of things, number of like sample items that we have, it's insane. Boxes and boxes of them. And then things like this, or t-shirts that I outgrow because I, added some muscle. Shirts don't fit the same. Yeah. Kelly says, it's been a rough week for me readjusting after vacation. Fibromyalgia was kicking my butt, but I'm feeling human again today. That's awesome. Did miss you guys this week, and we missed you. Kelly says, suggesting I bring this stuff to All In Weekend. Nope. All In Weekend had... I think those of you coming to All In Weekend need to realize this is not like... We don't have, like 5 hours of training planned, and the rest of it is just kind of, we'll see what happens. The whole time is planned. Like it is all in. Like it's all scheduled. It's there's nothing like, you will not have experienced anything like this. I had a grand vision for this. Andrew was in from the beginning. He gets it. He sees the vision, and what we have put together is going to be amazing. And let's put it this way. Because one of the things we promised people from All In Weekend is that you would get first right of refusal to sign up for the next year. I'm expecting that at least half people will sign up before we're going to give you a grace period. I'm expecting at least half of those people will sign up for the next year, a year in advance, before we open it up. There's nothing like this. So other than meetings, what am I doing today? It's going to be nice again. It's going to be like a high mid 60s. I'll have the windows open. I got more sap to boil. Fun fact, it's fun for me. So I have two maple trees out front. They're red maples. Yes, you can tap any kind of maple tree for sap. One of them historically has produced the most, 4 or 5 times as much as the other. In fact, most years the other tree does almost nothing. I get the wrong spot, and it's like, I'll give you like half a cup of sap, and then I'm done. Yesterday, it outproduced the other tree 2-1. I don't know why. It just did. So I have this deluge of maple sap, and I boiled some last night, and I got more to boil today. And there's going to be more that I pull off the trees. So I'm going to be boiling. And if it keeps going like that, well, I could set the canopy up. If it keeps going like that this weekend, I'm going to have to start boiling outside and get a fire going in the fire pit. I got a way to do that. And it's almost time for birch season. As soon as the maple stops flowing, then I switch over to the birch trees. What am I doing this weekend? Might be going to Maine to spend time with a friend. That's looking ambiguous. Probably not. Celebrating a birthday tomorrow. Would go hiking, but it's going to be very rainy. And not that the rain so much bothers me, but the trails are already going to be super muddy. And it's not good for them to beat them up when they're muddy. And when it's raining and muddy, it's unpleasant and bad for the trails. And, not exactly safe. You slip, you fall. At some point, I gotta get a helmet. I've realized this. Like, I don't want to, but I really should be hiking with a helmet because I hike solo most of the time. And if I fall and bang my head, some of the trails that I'm on, there are plenty of trails that I hike on that nobody else hikes on in 24 hours. I could die, so I might as well wear a helmet. Reduce the risk of death. What are you doing this weekend? Anything fun? Let me know. Drop it in the chat. Oh, Kelly asked, what do you do with the birch trees? I tap them. Do the same thing you would do with maple syrup. There's a lower sugar content, so it takes more sap to get birch syrup. And birch syrup is an interesting flavor. I'm not going to say I love it. It's not as good as maple syrup. If somebody had like an extensive birch grove and you did some research on this, you can actually make quite a bit of money. Birch syrup is not nearly as common. It's kind of a specialty food. I don't know that I would ever add it to baking, but it's like, it doesn't work as well on pancakes, but that could be because I'm expecting maple flavor with pancakes because I spent my entire life eating maple syrup with pancakes. But something like a scone could work. It's interesting. If you already have the equipment, you might as well give it a shot. What are the other two? Hickory, and there's one more tree that you can tap. I don't think we have around here. Mahogany? No. I don't remember what it is. Went to the gym yesterday, played with the dog. I'll do that again today. Today is the first day, so I mentioned to you all I'm going on a retreat in a couple weeks. This is the first day of my restrictions. No caffeine, nothing cold, like no ice cream. So I had some ice cream last night. No pork. I don't eat pork. There are a handful of things that start today, and then starting next Friday, the final week, there's even more restriction, like no salt. Like they really want you dialed down. So I'm going to be eating pretty much raw fruits and vegetables and eggs. I'll grab some eggs at the store. Just getting really narrow on the diet. And it's all intentional, and I understand it. So I understand why. All right, let's see what you guys gave me. I know there was nothing in the Facebook group, which made me sad. Kelly says we start breaking boards for our breakathon tomorrow morning in classes and then in all classes next week. That's awesome. Jenny says it could be worse. It sure could. It could always be worse. All right. Here are the jokes, courtesy of Fri-Yay. Stuttered. The jokes for Funday Friday. Yesterday was St. Patrick's Day. I didn't wear green. I didn't get pinched. I drank 0 beer. I did have like half a shot of Paddy's Irish whiskey. I think it's the only Irish whiskey I have up there. Yep. I got plenty of scotch, Canadian whiskey, American whiskey. Oh, no. Paddy's is the only Irish bottle I had, so I had a little bit of that. What kind of spells do leprechauns use? Lucky Charms. Where do leprechauns live? In leprechaundos. What's small, lucky, and green all over? A leprechaun who recycles. Why do leprechauns hate running? They'd rather jig than jog. Do leprechauns make good secretaries? Sure. They're great at shorthand. Does anybody use shorthand anymore? I don't think so. Do court stenographers still use that like weird court stenography shorthand typewriter thing? Or do they just use a normal computer? What do you call a leprechaun who broke the law? A leprechaun. You know you overdid it on St. Patrick's Day. When you think you're kissing the Blarney Stone, then it kisses you back. I thought about going out last night, but I just didn't want to. Just didn't want to. I find myself there are times where I want to go out and be around people, and then there are times when I know there are going to be a lot of people out, and it starts to push the boundaries on what feels safe. And your typical St. Patrick's Day celebration in public is one of those, because you get a lot of people who are binge drink, they're drinking to excess in groups, they're showing off. I'll go out and do those things with people, but solo, not really my thing. Why did St. Patrick drive the snakes out of Ireland? Because he couldn't afford a plane ticket. That's a good one. Do people get jealous of the Irish? Yes. They're green with envy. What do you call a fake Irish stone? A shamrock. What does it mean if you find a 4-leaf clover? That you have too much time on your hands. Knock, knock. Who's there? Irish. Irish who? Irish you a happy St. Patrick's Day. Like that. Knock, knock. Who's there? Pat. Pat who? Pat on your shoes and let's get to the St. Patrick's Day party. That's a really good one. Pat on your shoes. That induces a fairly close Irish accent. Knock, knock. Who's there? Clover. Clover who? Clover here, and I'll tell you. Good stuff. Where'd my screen go? There it is. Jenny knows someone who took a court stenographer class maybe 10 years ago. He learned on one of those fancy machines. I'm not sure if they still use them now. Can you please ask? I would love to know. Like, I really would love to know. Because I don't know why you would need. Maybe it's a more efficient keyboard. I don't know. Because every time you get somebody in a courtroom that's reading things back, they've got that tape, and they're like, yeah. Cool, she says. Sure can. I love it. All right. And we got some topics here, courtesy of Frank. So thank you to Frank. I'm doing fancy things in StreamYard as we switch from one to the next. And we go to here. All right. The American Psychological Association recently released the findings of their annual Stress in America survey. Among the top stressors include inflation, supply chain issues, and global uncertainty. The APA reports that America's stress level is the highest recorded since the survey began in 2007. So let's talk about how to de-stress. Now, I'm gonna read the third one first because I want you all to be prepared and sharing. How do you, or as Frank wrote it, let's open it up to the chat. How do y'all like to de-stress? So I'm going to answer the first couple here that are asking me, and I'll share with you what I do to unsuccessfully combat all the stress in my life. But I will be very curious and frankly would love to hear what you all do to address the stress in your life, because we all have stress, right? Like, it's not, I can't imagine anybody who doesn't have any stress in their life. Now, they may not react to it in a stressed way, but it's there. Just existing creates stress. And there's benefit to stress in some way. Stress, physical stress, creates adaptation. When you lift weights, you are stressing the body. You get stronger as a result. When you learn a new language, that stresses your brain and keeps your brain running so you don't get Alzheimer's and things like that. All right. So, uno, what are some of your favorite ways to de-stress? Jeremy. Um, Being outside, gardening, going to the gym, friends, music, TV, movies, cooking, working on a project, which rarely happens, but like I'd consider the maple syrup thing kind of a project. Like I'm kind of chipping away at that. I'm not stressed when I'm working on that. I'm not stressed when I'm digging holes in the backyard, plant things in. I'm not stressed when I'm on the top of a mountain. What else do I do? Mm. So those are kind of the physical actions. Other things that I do. I have a variety of, this is going to sound bad, but bear with me. I have a variety of substances that contribute to reducing stress. Kava, I've got a number of tea blends that Yogi makes one that's says right on the box, stress. That helps. Kava is in there. Brain FM is a big piece for me. Brain.fm, I've talked about it on the website, on the show before. I should probably get them to sponsor something because they do that, but whatever. It's $7 a month. How much am I going to actually make? I would rather just be objective and say Brain FM is huge. They give you a trial. If you are ever stressed or need to be focused, or please just check it out. Like, it's game changing. I would guess if you work a conventional job, especially if you work from home and you have to get work done and there's a finite amount of work to get done, you could probably get your work done 30% faster with Brain FM. Truly. There are some days where I get way more done. Sometimes it's just a little, but often it's doubly productive. Video games. I have a device that doesn't work super well, but it does help a little bit. It's called the Apollo Neuro. It's a wearable that has some vibrations that relaxes me a little bit. I haven't been using it lately. I need to. I want to. I will start wearing it again. Let's see. What are people saying? Jenny says yoga, walk, train, listen to music, breathing exercises, gardening, aromatherapy, reading, crafting, like cross stitch, something that requires me to refocus, cup of tea, talk to a friend, hug my kids. I have anxiety issues, so I have a lot of techniques. That's great. I think more is better. What are other things that people can do? That's question two. What are some ways to de-stress that you don't use, but that could still benefit you, benefit others? Food is a big one, either more or less for people. Certain foods are often triggers. You know, we often think of solving problems as let's do something, let's add something, but quite often it's the removal of something, to stop doing things, to avoid things. For a lot of us, certain people or places or foods or activities are triggers to feel stressed. The number one thing, I don't do a ton of this, but the number one thing that the majority of people could do to be less stressed. I mean, what were the three things that were thrown out there? They are subjects that are beaten into us by media, don't watch so much of the news. But Jeremy, I want to be informed. Okay. Does it really change that much day to day? When was the last time something came up on the news that you had to take action on in the next 24 or 48 hours? It's very rare. So what if you watched the news once a week? What if you found a different news source that was shorter, maybe a little more just kind of like, hey, here's what's going on, instead of what most mainstream media does, which is here's why you need to be scared and upset. I would guess that if there was a way to survey the folks in the go back to the folks in this study survey and find out how stressed they are and how much likely television they watch, I bet there's a correlation there. I've become very disillusioned with mainstream media. Not even talking about accuracy at this point, but they are. We know this is scientifically proven. We know that fear commands a higher attention in the brain than other sentiments. Mainstream media knows that. So they do their best to keep us scared. If we are scared, we pay more attention. It's a survival instinct. And they're abusing it. And they've been abusing it. And they continue to abuse it even worse as time goes on. Turn off the TV. It's not helping you. You will know everything that you need to know just from kind of being around. I'm not even going to name particular subjects, but knowing the nitty gritty, maybe it's interesting. It's not changing your life. Oh, there's a whole bunch going on in here. Good morning, Brian. Kelly says, I have massage therapy every week to help with physical stress on my body and acupuncture twice a month for mental stress. Hot tub, reading, and actually teaching always makes me feel good. That's awesome. Stacy says, using my singing bowls, speaking of feeling vibrations, music, cuddle the cats, salty food. Killing dinners for saying mowing the lawn, cleaning the house. Jenny says, I've had to walk away from social media. I have a time limit for social media use on my phone, just long enough to watch this show every morning. Oh, thank you. I too, I've had to dial back. I mean, if you look at my Facebook account, I am friends with like 2,300 people or something. I would guess a good quarter of those people are hidden. I never see what they post because they're not putting good out into the world. They're constantly riled up about something. I don't need to see that. I got enough to be riled up about. You know, I want to get this project done. This person needs this. You know, I'm not gonna. I don't want to be stressed. I try not to be. One of the things I've been doing lately that has been a little bit helpful when I find myself just kind of going, just stop, take some deep breaths, and I visualize, and sometimes I even will pantomime it. Imagine a dial, a stress dial, and I just turn it down. I do that for a few seconds, and I just kind of sit with that, and that has been helpful. I hope you have a good day, a great day, a fantabulous day, and I hope the weekend's at least as good, maybe better. I hope to see you back here on Monday. get ready for this new mug. We will roll that out beginning of April. What else? No, I think that's it. Remember, if you want to support us, we got lots of stuff that you can do. We've got the store at whistlekick.com and the code FirstCup15. We've got the Patreon, patreon.com/whistlekick. I uploaded, well, I made a mention a couple days ago that I will be uploading a video version as an exclusive to Patreon for episode, 706? It's already edited, sitting on my computer, it's ready to go. If you want the whole list, I got it spaced out. I'm sorry. whistlekick.com/family. Remember, we do this show every weekday, 6:30 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter and Twitch. And if you've got questions or comments, things you want to contribute to the show ahead of time, I love having those come in. There's always a post on our Facebook group, facebook.com/firstcup. Jeremy, if you don't do Facebook, email me, jeremy@whistlekick.com. I appreciate you all joining. Switch. Come on, computer. I'm clicking. There we go. Dennis says it's going to be 73 today in Connecticut. Woo. Nice. Awesome. Everybody's going out on a positive note here. I like seeing that. It's a great way to start my day. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you Monday. Take care. Peace.